with my first initial contact with the funeral home representatives was very good. I immediately saw it was Buddy right away, and I was thrilled because we actually were neighbors growing up, and I think that was very comforting for my mom. They were extremely professional, very dignified. When we came to the funeral home to make our arrangements, it worked out, I think, very nice. Dan let us in, told us what was all going to happen, what we all needed to do, the decisions we would have to make and choose. And we're that type of people. We like to relax and just, take our time doing things. And I think it was a good experience in that way too, that we were all there for supporting my mother and helping her make these decisions in a time where she was very indecisive. I felt when we left that day, after we did the initial picking of the casket and we went through what we wanted for the services, different things like that, I really felt that everything was under control. We had made our decisions. I think the job was done, and it was time then to prepare ourselves for the funeral. But I think that once we left here, I think we all felt good. We felt that everything was in control, and all we needed to do was be there and be ready and prepared for the funeral services and the wake. We spent the time that it took to write the obituary. We wanted to make sure we included all the different family members that had gone before him, and we, I think, enjoyed doing that. We did that with my mother present too, and that was, I think, a good thing in the start of the healing process. The visitation went well. We, in fact, brought a few other things to the funeral home to display with my dad's body. We brought his mail window that he used for 35 years or someplace close to that. We brought his army boots that he used for many, many years after his service years cutting the lawn. And we also had Dan put a fork in his pocket because that's how my dad was. He liked to, it was hilarious, he liked taking a regular fork wherever he went in his latter years because he hated plastic forks because they always broke every time you tried using them and stuff like that. So he always would have a fork in his pocket ready to go, or else he'd have it in the glove compartment of the car. We were extremely pleased with how my dad looked. He looked very natural. My mother was very pleased. We were all very pleased when we got here and we saw how Dad looked. The makeup that they had applied or whatever, he looked very natural, and we were very pleased. My dad was a mail carrier for over 35 years, and we just thought that was really awesome that, they knew what he did, and they were able to put that into a thank you for all of our people that had come, to pay their respects to my dad. Very creative. We really appreciated it. Everybody here is just very professional. Every time we've come to the various services that you have had since my dad has passed, a Veterans one, a Memorial Day one. They've both been done in great taste, very nice. And we've brought my mom to those, and she's very much appreciated those. And I guess I would say to other family members that it's a great thing to participate in those for the whole healing process and things like that. I would have to say that the direction of both Dan and Buddy was excellent from the time, we got here, where to park, who to park next to, how far to park in front of people. We always felt we knew what was going on. It was always very clear as to what was expected of us and where we were to do things or to park and things like that. I and my family members would recommend the Wieting Funeral Service to all of our friends that we know. They do an excellent job in preparing families for what is going to be happening, helping them through the actual services and what's going on. We certainly feel that the Wieting Funeral Service is a far cry above a lot of the other funeral services that we have witnessed, that we have attended. They're very outgoing, they're very dignified, and very personable, and that's really what it all boils down to.